Hey there, this is Shannon, and this is 10 minutes of astrology with Shannon. So I noticed last time, as a precursor on my video, that you couldn't follow along with the mouse. I don't know what happened. Hopefully you're able to see my mouse this time. If you can't, not really able to point to anything, so I'm going to use as many terms as I can so that you can follow along the best you can. So the first thing that I want to say is that this full moon is going to be on December 8th, 2022 at 4 in the morning. Not necessarily all time for the world, America's, specifically North Carolina, but, you know, you can figure out the time for you, but we're all going to be experiencing the full moon in some way. One other thing that I want to point out is this would have been my grandmother's birthday, so happy birthday, Nana. Let's get started. The first thing that you want to talk about on a full moon is the full moon. If you can see my mouse, great. If not, my apologies, but the sun is in Sagittarius, the moon is in Gemini, right next to Mars. We'll get to that in a second. They're in opposition, so a full moon is fully realizing something, fully coming to grips with something. It is seeing all of it for what it is being brought to the light. Something is coming up and being shown. This is when you see more crimes, more births, just more activity in general. So the sun here in Sagittarius, that is the sun in Sagittarius. Sagittarius people know they're clumsy. They're kind of a bit spastic, if you will. Like they're brainy people, and they're just gonna shoot their shot. I mean, they're Sagittarius. They're the archer. They're just gonna do it. And here in opposition is Gemini, more mental than brainy. Even though Sagittarius rules philosophy and higher education, Gemini here rules the lower education, the lower mind, real critical thinking. The Sagittarius is philosophical thinking, and the moon is critical thinking here. But the moon is an emotional planet. It's ruled by Cancer, the sign right after it. So the moon does not like being in Gemini. That's when you have kind of the mental and emotional overlay that you're either like you're thinking with your heart or you're feeling with your head. And Gemini isn't a balanced sign like Libra is. Gemini is a dual sign, but it's not a balanced mental sign. That's when you're gonna see, you may see more like little lies come to light. Gemini is definitely about some white lies. Cancer is more, the exaggerations. Leo is the big theatrical, they all lie all signs lie to some extent. It's just how they do it. So you may see little lies come to the surface. The other thing that I do want to go ahead and mention is that you have Mars here conjunct the moon. So Mars is a very active sign in Gemini. It's like, gotta do, like it's going. And the moon can take this hyper energy and like internalize it. And, you can start doubting yourself. Geminis are definitely, because they're wishy-washy, they're more easily tend to doubt themselves or change their minds, and that's who Mars is in retrograde. So you may not want to start new projects right now. You may want to just be really invigorated into the projects you're in. But then with these being in opposition to the sun is gonna straight shoot you at this point, and maybe even shoot you down. So I don't take on any new projects. Enjoy and try to embrace this energy. It can be kind of overwhelming energy. You may go back and forth. Oppositions are a back and forth. You're either best friends or worst enemies with an opposition. Capricorn and Cancers can get along really well, or they can hate each other. It's kind of one or the other. It's extremes. So you're either going to really enjoy this energy, or it's going to be a lot of fucking energy. And how you're going to handle that is going to be who you are as a person. The other things that I want to mention quickly, because I only have a couple more minutes, is Lilith is here in Cancer, opposition to Pluto up here in Capricorn. Again, oppositions are the back and forth. It's the extremes. So Lilith is that sexual kind of dark, devious side, and Pluto is transformation, change, rebirth, regeneration. So, and Capricorn is business related and minded. Cancer is family minded. Cancer is emotional. Capricorn is about financial and social structures, and not structures so much, but they are structured, and organized. So how can you balance that business organization and changes that are maybe going on in your job or in your, career life versus that kind of deep emotional time that you need to be spending with your family, and that, in order to have that work-life balance, this is definitely catering to the work-life balance issues that we've been seeing. Which side of the chart are you going to be pulled to? One of the other things that I want to talk about here is Venus kind of hiding in all of this in Sagittarius, in Saturn, Venus and Saturn. Oh my God, it would fit though. But Venus here in Sagittarius is semi-sextile, which means it's right next door to Pluto, and in conjunct Lilith down here. So we're going to start with Venus in Sagittarius. I've got to move quick. Venus in Sagittarius Venus is the heart and relationships. Sagittarius is very social and bubbly and straightforward. So there may be things in your relationships that you need to be more straightforward on with the semi-sextile here to Pluto. A semi-sextile is the person before needs to learn something from the person after needs to teach to the person before. So Venus, your relationships, you need to learn how to grow in, standard society, and learn how to be more organized. And if you're a really organized person, then you need to teach somebody that's really good in relationships how to be more organized and how to manage their career a little bit better. Then you have the inconjunct down here. An inconjunct is a super irritating aspect. So your social relationships that you're being straightforward in may not jive especially with the mother. Cancer is like a mother thing. You may not want to have that approach with like really close females in your life. And really close females in your life, you may want to listen to their advice. It may be irritating advice, but you may want to listen to their advice when it comes to how to deal and manage those relationships in a more straightforward way. So it can kind of work both ways. It's flexible. The last thing that I wanted to talk about, it is not on this chart, is Pallas in retrograde at 26 degrees of Cancer. So it's slap conjunct on top of Lilith. So Pallas is a very, very strong, and I've only got 30 seconds kind of left. So Pallas is a really strong woman figure in this emotional mother sign. It's conjunct on, and it's retrograde right now, so it's not as strong as it wants to be, conjunct on Lilith, which is, it's going to be that communication with your mother or with your family or with the people that really matter to you. It's okay to take charge in those conversations. And then Pallas Athena, opposition to Pluto in Capricorn, that's going to be a transformation maybe in the power in those relationships. And then in conjunct to Venus, again, you may or may not want to be more straightforward. Definitely choose wisely. So that's all I have for today before my time completely runs out. Thank you so much for watching. You can find me on all kinds of stuff. Subscribe, like, whatnots, Twitter, Facebook, etc., etc. Come read with me. Peace out.